Hi, everyone. My name is Nina DeVoli. Welcome to Flocabulary. I'll be doing the presentation today on the screen, and I have my friend Teresa Kinney helping out in the chat room. So if you have any questions at all during this, go ahead and just ask them in the chat room, and she'll be more than happy to help. So what I like to do when I'm watching these, I instead of having the screen all the way across, I just keep it small. That way I can watch the video and watch the chat room at the same time. So that's just a suggestion in case if you want to hop on there. All right. So I've actually had my students help me out with this presentation because they love Flocabulary. So that's why it says Flocabulary with Nina DeVoli and my class. And both of my classes, they just went crazy that I was going to do Flocabulary and that they got to help. So first of all, what is Flocabulary? It is an online library of educational hip hop songs and videos for grades kindergarten through 12th grade. So yes, this does work for all grade levels. So if you're visiting me and you're a high school teacher and you're wondering what you're going to learn from a third grade teacher, because that's what I teach, it's okay. We're going to use the same program, even down to kindergarten. It's got a lot of great things on here. Vocabulary is engaging, and it's even proven to raise test scores. And my class was even saying, oh, yeah, that's right, Ms. DeVoli. We just took a CBA, a social studies CBA, and some of those questions we learned while we were watching one of the Flocabulary songs. So they even were able to prove they did good on their test because they were watching these songs. This is just some of what my class had to say about it. This is their input that they wanted me to share with y'all. So one student said, Flocabulary gives me useful information. Another said, I like how they make learning better by putting it in a rap song. Another said, I like making my own song the best. So yes, on here, not only do you get to listen to songs, but the kids can also create their own songs too. I like how it gives information over all subjects. So what that means is that not only do I use Flocabulary in my reading, writing, and social studies class, but my partner uses Flocabulary in her math and science class as well. So they really thought that that was cool, that no matter what class they're in, no matter what subject they're learning, they can go onto this tool and learn more. And last one, it said, it's fun while we're watching the videos. The vocabulary cards and quizzes are very helpful. So they have these extra activities to do with these videos, and I'm going to take you through all of this today. So if you, like I said, if I'm going too fast or if you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat room for Teresa. All right, let's go ahead and explore Flocabulary. What I'm going to do is take you into my Flocabulary. And the educator one looks very similar to the students. Now, thankfully, Garland did buy a subscription for the teachers. So this is absolutely wonderful. If you don't know what your login and password is, if you log in through your Ready Hub, and one of the icons in Ready Hub is Flocabulary, you can just click on that and you are in. That is also how my students get into Flocabulary. They're very familiar with Ready Hub because they get on all of their computer applications through there. So they log in to Flocabulary through their Ready Hub. They're already in. It's perfect. Another great thing about the district paying for us to have this is that they've already pre-populated our classes. So here's my Flocabulary homepage. And if you look over to the right, how it says my classes, these are coming from the subscription that I was given. I didn't have to upload any of this. Now there's an option for you if you want to upload a class and put other kids in there or different people, you can definitely do that. But it was really easy because I already have my classes uploaded. And I noticed that it got it off of Skyward. So although I only have 2 sets of kids that come and see me, I've got 2 sets of social studies, 2 sets of writing, 2 reading, all of that. So it looks like a whole lot more than what I actually really have. So I'm going to take you into my classes here later on so that way you can see the differences. And I don't use all of them because it's just only 2 sets of kids. So I'll show you that here in a minute. So going back to what one of my kids had said was that they really liked that this was from all subjects, not just for me, not just for my teammate. But if you can see here in the middle of your homepage, we've got language arts. So you have your reading and your writing. You have math, science, social studies, which is a huge plus for me because I feel like I have no social studies resources. And this is just a wonderful thing for us to use here in class. Life skills. I use life skills all the time. This is going to be stuff that behavior management and how to control emotions. There's age appropriate things for 5-year-olds and 18-year-olds on there. So it's a great subject to go through and find videos. Vocabulary words, current events. So things that are happening in today's world that are appropriate. Now, if you notice for the current events, it's the only one that does not go down to kindergarten. It only goes down to 3rd grade. And I will say, even with the 3rd grade ones, I definitely have to watch those first before I show my class because some of the current events, I don't feel like they are appropriate for me to talk about in class. That some of those current events are better for their parents to be talking to them about. So just, how you do with any videos you ever show in class, keep that in mind before you show one. You might want to look through it first and be sure that it's appropriate for your class. But I would say definitely with that current events would be the one where it might not be appropriate. I had also heard once in a training with Tracy Vickery that some of the math videos on here, although they are awesome and wonderful, they might teach maybe rounding on a number line a little bit differently than what you do. So that is something that you might still want to show some videos, just have a talk with your kids about it. So that's another reason why you should watch the videos before you show them to your kids. Now, a lot of times I don't like to watch the videos before because who hasn't added, 10, 15 minutes to sit around and just watch a video? What's great about these is that they're real short. They're very catchy. Even when you're watching them before the kids do, you find yourself, moving along to the beat and wanting to sing. They're only range from 2 minutes, maybe up to 5 minutes. So it's very engaging. You'll like it a lot, and your kids are absolutely going to love it. So there's a couple different ways that you can find videos that are appropriate for your class. The first way is to go on here and look through the subjects. So if you know that you are a reading teacher, you would go through the language arts for reading and writing, math, science, all of that. But if you're looking for something specific, and here in Texas, we have our TEKS that we have to follow. Why are we going to show a video if it does not pertain to our class? So what I absolutely love about Flocabulary is if there's a TEK that my children are struggling with, I'm going to go down here to where it says lesson resources. And I'm going to find the standards alignment. And I'm going to click on that. Now, here in the standards alignment, what's great is that you can go ahead and pick out Texas because we do not do Common Core here in Garland. We do our TEKS. So we want to make sure that we have the right video to match up for what we are teaching. So I'm going to put Texas TEKS, and then I'm going to pick, we're going to be learning a math lesson. And I teach 4th grade. So if you teach 4th grade math, go ahead and type that in and see what TEKS pop up for you. So I'll click search. And here, whenever you're writing your lesson plans and you're putting this in as a lesson plan and your principal's wondering, why in the world are you showing rap videos in class? Well, you can show them with the T. This video right here, 4.1, 4.1a. Problem solving arising in everyday life, society, and the workplace. You can go through all of these, and that way you now have the ones that say correlation, you now have a tick to go with the videos. So compare and order decimals using concrete and visual models to the hundreds. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm showing today in class. That's what we're talking about. I'll click on my correlations, click on the decimals video. And once our Wi-Fi starts working, there it is, it'll pop up. So that's one way that you can find your video that you want your students to watch. Now, usually what I do is I show the video whole group with all of my kids, and then I will have them watch videos on their own as well. So whether I have found a video for them to watch by searching through the teak, or if I found it by, so instead of looking down here in the teaks, if I found it on that home page, oh, I'm teaching math. What about math am I teaching? Multiplication and division, numbers and operations, statistics and probability. I can choose from my general subject in math, and I can go into here. We're working on multiplication, and I'm going to be talking about dividing by 7. So the different ways you can find your videos that are appropriate for your kids. What I love about them is that whenever you go through the teaks and you put in you want 4th grade math teaks, it shows up all videos that are appropriate for 4th grade. If you go in through the way that I just did, where we picked the subject, we then narrowed it down to find what we wanted, and now we've got a list of all their videos of multiplication and division. Now you can see, well, multiplying 0 and 1, that's maybe good for grades 3 to 5. Multiplying 8, 3 to 5. So now you can be looking through here and help you narrow down long division. Maybe we should wait till 4th grade to watch that. Or if they need a recap of earlier years taught lessons, like, oh, you learned that in 2nd grade. Let's go find something that's appropriate for that. So it tells you down here what's appropriate for the students to watch. So those are my 2 favorite ways to find videos to show to my kids. And I'll find one, I'll click on it, I'll show it to the class, and we can do this together under my account, or I can have them do all of this by themselves, which is usually after we've watched just the video together as a class. I have the kids do all the activities by themselves. So let me show you how I get them to do that. Say I found that I want my kids to watch this multiply 0 and 1. Up here, I'm going to assign this video to my class. Now, like I said before, it seemed as if they had populated my classrooms out of Skyward. So I've got a bunch of different classrooms for the same 2 sets of kids. What I had done is I changed the name of 2 of them. Instead of it saying reading 304, I just made it say Divoli. And instead of saying, writing 301, I just changed it to Morris, because I knew that 304 was one class and 301 was another class. So I just remembered to always assign it under Divoli or under Morris. So when you assign a video to the kids, you can decide, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to watch the video and that's it? Okay, that sounds great. When can they start watching it? Is this something that you don't have planned till next week? Then change its visibility date. If you want them to watch it by a certain day, give them a due date. If you want them to watch the video and do vocabulary cards, the vocabulary cards are right here. Do you want them to learn the words divide, times, multiply, 0, 1? Okay, let's be honest. 1 and 0, they don't need. But to divide, multiply, and times, maybe some vocabulary words they should learn if they're just starting. So I can pick what cards I want them to do. Read and respond is another activity, and I'm going to take y'all through these activities. Read and respond is another one where it gives you a story for the kids to read, and then they've got questions at the end. Quiz, it's a 10-question ABCD quiz for them to go through, practice the skill that they've learned. And Lyric Lab. Lyric Lab is where they get to create their own rap song over this subject. So if you want your kids to take the time and to create over multiplying the numbers 0 and 1, you'd go ahead and click on that. Now for me, Lyric Lab, I never require them to do because that's a lot of long work. And read and respond can sometimes be, I think I prefer quiz better sometimes. So I'll just pick out what I want my kids to do. The video, the vocabulary cards, the quiz. They can go ahead and start today. It's due whenever. And I'll just click create assignment. Now, whenever they log into Ready Hub and they go onto Flocabulary, they are going to have, okay, you have an assignment, multiply 0 and 1. You need to watch the video. You need to do the vocabulary cards. You need to do the quiz. And they'll click on it and just go through it really easily. So let me show you what some of those things are. So for multiplying 0 and 1 or all of the videos, what they have up at the top for teachers are resources. These are going to be handouts that you can give to your kids. So the first one lets you know before you watch the video, is this what you are looking for? Practice multiplying by 0 and 1. These are the vocabulary words that are going to be taught. Then I'll look at the handouts. They've got plenty of printable handouts for you. We've got times tables. We have the lyrics to the song. We have lyrics, but they're blank. The vocabulary cards for the words that are in here. The quiz, the read and respond, a reading passage. And this is something that can be found. These ones down here are something that can be found for all of the videos. Up here, the printable exercise is going to be different. Obviously, times table is not going to be your printable for a reading vocabulary, but it'll be something appropriate that'll go with it so that the kids can follow along and jot down notes and answer questions to check for understanding. If you did not search for this video by Teeks, you can look under standards alignment to see if this is appropriate for your grade level. Maybe this is what you want to watch, but does it really go with your classroom? So that is up here for the teachers under teacher resources, those handouts and pages for you. For the kids, they will get theirs to look just like yours. It'll say watch, vocab, read and respond, quiz, create. When you watch a video, there's a couple different ways you can watch it. You can just go ahead and play it. I feel smart. I feel good. I feel smart. I feel good. So we can watch it at original speed, but if I really want my kids to know what they're saying and maybe sing along, I might slow it down. I might really slow it down. So I liked that feature a lot because my kids always want to sing along, but they're not always able to keep up and say the words with it. So I slow it down a little bit so that way they can read and sing at the same time. So that's one thing that you can do to change the video, how you watch it. Another is down here, you can do a quick review. This one doesn't have one button. So you have a quick review to go with the video. So it's kind of like a short little quizzes to go through and just check to see if what you're watching in the video you understand. Another one is lyrics, and this is just going to give you all the lyrics. You can play the song in the background. The kids can read along with the lyrics this way if it's easier. Now, my kids always prefer the actual video because it does give you a little story and they really enjoy that. I'm actually going to switch off of this video because this video doesn't show me something that I want to show y'all. Oh, there it is. Okay, over here on the decimals, sorry, switch videos. Down here on the right, it says discuss. I really like this button because this button is going to pause the video for you and it's going to pop up a question for the class. So if you're doing this whole group or if your kids are doing this by themselves, it makes you all stop and think about what you're watching. So whenever you play the video, if you see those yellow dots, those yellow dots are where they're going to pause and a question is going to pop up. So let me fast forward through here so you can see what I mean. 1 to the right of the decimal point is 10. What are decimals? How are they like fractions? Have your discussion about it. If you want the kids to write down what they're thinking, play on. 3 tenths, yeah, and then that's less than 265, but it's more than 264. Yeah, you know it for sure. Chilling on the line in my decimal stands. And each time they come to a yellow dot, it'll pause. You'll talk about it. They've got questions. This just gets those kids to think deeper over what they're watching. So I really enjoy that, watching the video that way. So instead of just, oh, I'm just going to play a video and that's it, I've got a couple things to do to engage them. Slow it down, make them sing along, have the discussion button on so they stop and talk, have the lyrics up so if this is going too fast for them, they can read it all down the page. So the video is definitely everyone's favorite. The next one is vocabulary. So the vocabulary are the words that the song is teaching. So here on the song Decimals, we've got our vocabulary: decimal, decimal point, digit, fraction, hundreds place, and so on. And so what they'll do is these act just like vocabulary cards, but they're interactive. So they click on one, they read it, they see a picture of it, and if you assigned this as a task for them to complete, they have to write with this word. So that means that they need to use the word decimal in a sentence. They can type in their sentence down here at the bottom. They can tell you what it is. They can use an example. It's up to you and how you want them to do it. I will say is that they could just type in something like this and click save, and Flocabulary doesn't understand that they did not give a good sentence. So I always tell them, I'm going to go back and check to see what sentences you wrote for your vocabulary cards. They'd save and click next. And they would do that for each of the vocabulary cards. So like I had shown before, when you're assigning the vocabulary cards, you can decide, well, they already know what a number line is. I don't need them to review that. And they already know whole numbers. So maybe I just want them to work on these top 4 up here. So that I like that a lot, because why go over stuff that they already know? We can be using that time more meaningful. So the vocabulary cards are a great tool. The next activity is read and respond. And they've got their, they've got a little word problem for reading. They've got stories, and then you've got a question down at the bottom. This is going to check to see if they know how they're doing. Confirm the answer. Yep. Awesome. And y'all, I just guessed that, so hopefully they won't and they'll take the time. But we've got a couple different questions on here. There's 6 questions on this read and respond. Sometimes for the reading ones, because it's a longer story, it's only 1 or 2 questions. Next is the quiz. And the quiz is very similar to the read and respond, just not so much of the reading, as in just short questions, fill in the blank, multiple choice. They've got 10 in here, and you can take this as a grade if you need it, because I'm going to show you once we're done with this. You get to look to see how each of your kids did on quizzes and what they got right, what they got wrong, their score, all of that. So the quiz, very, very good review. This is stuff that they would have learned in the video, practice that they would have gotten, that read and respond, the vocabulary cards, all of that helps out with the quiz. Now, the quiz does not tell them when they pick an answer choice if they got it right or wrong. They won't know till the very end, till they've answered all 10 questions. Then it will let them know. Whereas the read and respond, it tells you right away, yes, you got this one right, or, you should try that again. And then the last activity is this create. Now, the create is where they are making up their own rhymes over the topic. So if they've just watched a video over decimals, they can come into the lyric lab and they get to make their own vocabulary over decimals. Now, at first, I thought, man, that's got to be pretty tricky, but the kids absolutely love it. Up here, you have notes. So if you want to use the word decimal in there, if you want to use the word decimal or number line, whole number, all of that, they can type in their notes up here. Down here is their rhyme. So whenever they start writing the rhyme, it actually helps them out. So I learned about decimals. And I clicked enter. All right, it tells me, yep, you used one of your vocabulary words, 1 out of 9. Use your other 8. It tells me I have 7 syllables on there. So I'm going to try to match that. If I hadn't used the word decimals and I had a word that rhymed, it would have words over here. Do I have any slant rhymes? Flexible. Okay. Maybe doesn't rhyme perfectly, but it sounds pretty good. I learned about decimals. My next line can end with flexible, terrible, professional. If I want it to end with synonyms, it gives me synonyms as well. So down here in the lyric lab, when they're creating, they absolutely love it, because when they go ahead and write down their first line, it does help them and give them clues. Okay, I know I want to say this word, but I don't know how to get my second line going. That's when they can look over here at this. When they're done writing their rhyme and they've given it a title, they would choose a beat if they want to go ahead and sing it out loud. So they've got the beat of all of the songs from Flocabulary. So we've got a big long list to choose from. So they really enjoy that. They like going through and seeing which one works best with their song that they wrote. And this is where I get a lot of my students who are afraid to create in class. This is where they really shine, because they have so much fun with this. This is, a lot of times music that they like to listen to at home. Now you're just putting, school appropriate words on it, and they really enjoy it. So the create their own rhyme over the topic is great. Sometimes I let them have rap battles and they get to stand up front. And if they want to, I never force them to, but if they want to share their rap that they made over it, then that's great. And then we take votes to see whose rap that we liked the best and all of that. So they get crazy with it and they have a lot of fun. Those are the activities that the kids can do. They pop up. You can choose to have them assign, like, you have to watch, you have to do the vocabulary, and you have to do the quiz. The other ones are still available for them to do, but it won't be marked on there that they have to complete it. It'll be ones that they can complete if they choose so on their own. So the last thing I wanted to show you before I signed off was my classes. Like I said, these are already populated for you because Garland bought us the subscription. So whenever you're in here, you've got all of your different classes, and the kids are already in your classes. You don't have to worry about putting them into your class. It already has happened. If you have other kids that you would like to add and you have a Google Classroom, you can import a class through there. If you need kids to join, they've got the class code. So whenever they log on to Flocabulary, they'll join a class with this class code. So it's really easy to add them in if for some reason something happened and they were not added in. So if I go into one of my classes, it'll show all of the assignments that I've given them. It'll show the students. It'll let me add kids, drop kids, all of that. And so recently we did Harriet Tubman, and I had them do a video and a quiz. And as you can see, everyone did the video, but only 2 friends have done the quiz so far. I'm able to click on this and see, okay, who's done the quiz and what grades they are on. I'm not going to open up mine because I don't want you seeing my actual kids' names and stuff. So let me go back to this. So if I open up Harriet Tubman, it'll look like this. And we've got our summary. So I have each of my kids' names and it says, yep, they did the video. And this kid down here, he or she did the quiz and they made an 80 on it. So right there, I'm able to put that grade in the grade book. So that's on summary. On the next one, on the individual review, it would show the kids, okay, this last kid only did the video. They did not do the quiz. They did the video, they did the quiz, and it shows me exactly which questions they got correct and which ones they got wrong. So that's just kid by kid. The very last tab, comprehension analysis, shows me all of the kids for the quiz or the video or whatever activity I put it on. And it tells me, all right, for question 1, they all picked C. That was correct. Question 2, I could click on it. They all picked A, B. And over here in question 6, I can see that this kid, this D is highlighted a different way because that kid got that one incorrect. So I know that maybe with this person, I need to go over whatever question 6 was. 2 kids missed question 9. Maybe we need to go over that. So I really enjoy this tab the most because you're able to see the quiz results for each student and what they picked. So in the classes, it's great because the kids have a lot of activities they can do, but they don't have to. If you don't feel like the kids need to do create quiz and read and respond, maybe they just need to watch the vocabulary, then that's your choice. And I really enjoy that. It's a great way to keep on track with the kids and their learning. They have so much fun doing it. They really enjoy the videos. They're very catchy. They've got great songs going with them, story going on. The animations are wonderful, and the kids just really enjoy it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this part. Thank y'all so much for stopping. I'm sorry I went over a little bit on time. I'm going to sign off on here, but I'm going to keep the chat room open for a couple minutes. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them on there. Teresa's going to put the CPE link so that way you can get credit for watching this video. And thank you for coming, and I will see y'all next time.